And welcome to the recording of week 6 of Chris Mentomy. Okay, let's talk about traffic. Traffic. Week 6 of Chris Mentomy is all about traffic. And don't forget, we have a bonus week 7 as well, all about traffic, an unadvertised bonus. So we're really shoehorning in as much traffic as we possibly can. Plus, as just time goes on, we are going to be continually adding to Chris Mentomy. So even at the end of week 7, we're still going to be coming back, and there's still going to be more, I haven't even mentioned this to you yet, more training webinars and such like. So it's not really an end, if you like. More about that a little bit later. So in week 6, let's focus on week 6 of Chris Mentomy. Week 6 is entirely about Facebook traffic. In week 7, we talk about other techniques. Week 6 is entirely about Facebook traffic. Now, here's the thing. Okay, and I did slightly struggle with this when Ian and myself and the team were creating Chris Mentomy. To generate traffic with Facebook, you need to have a Facebook fan page. Let's work backwards. To have a Facebook fan page, you need to understand what a Facebook fan page is. A Facebook fan page is different to a Facebook personal profile. I know already, for many, that alone is confusing. I get that. I really do understand that. Also, to generate traffic using Facebook, you need to know how Facebook works. You need to understand what the wall is, what the news feed is, and how the viral nature works. We also need to create what's known as a welcome page for our fan page. So here's my point. I could easily spend a few hours, in fact it would take a few hours, explaining how to create a fan page, what a fan page is, how it actually works, the process, sort of the behind the scenes, everything that you need to understand how Facebook works before we're actually ready to generate traffic. Do you see what I'm saying? So as I've just explained that a webinar is not a good conducive element to actually teach, there's no point during this webinar right now that you're watching right now me showing you how to create a fan page. It's just a waste of your time and my time. So I want you to know as follows. What I'm saying is as follows. If you do not have a fan page, don't worry, it's okay. During week 6, I will show you how to create a fan page and all this other stuff that I've just mentioned. I've also got an unadvertised bonus for you, an Understanding Facebook course that I've never released before if you are a real newcomer to Facebook, and that's fine. So for now, for this webinar that we're on right now, I'm going to go through the actual traffic process. So if you don't have a fan page, I don't want you to worry. Is that okay? In fact, let me quickly ask. My question is, who here, this is my question, okay? Who here would say that they do understand how Facebook works? So you're comfortable with the wall and the newsfeed and the viral nature and posting as a fan page and posting as your personal profile? Because there's lots of these little things that people don't mention. And don't worry if you don't. I would suspect most do not. So we're definitely getting a not really, which is perfect. That's exactly what I thought as well. Isn't it frustrating when somebody would say something like, right, just use Facebook to generate traffic? And this happened to me when I started. So let's jump in. When I started using Facebook properly for traffic, which was only about 1.5 years ago, I've had an account for a few years, but I only really started using it for traffic in about May, June of 2010, which not that many people know. So just over 1 year or so. But the thing that I struggle with is nobody explained to me how to use Facebook. Sure, there were a ton of people that would say, just use Facebook, as if it was obvious how we therefore could generate traffic. And I've realized that the reason that a lot of people would say this is because they like how that sounds when they say this. I've actually spoken at an event, and I won't name who the speaker is because I don't want to embarrass him, but this speaker was talking about using Facebook to generate traffic. During a break, because he knew me, he kind of called me over and we had a talk, and I actually sat down with him, and I said, can you actually explain to me how you generate traffic using Facebook? You know, I literally, it's all very well saying use Facebook, but how do you actually do it? And he said, oh, I don't know. I get my assistant to do it. Can you believe that? And yet he was on stage saying, use Facebook. Unbelievable. And that's because a lot of people don't really walk the walk and talk the talk. So I want you to be 100% clear of what we are trying to achieve, because most people will not explain to you what I'm about to go through. What I'm saying is as follows. It's all very well us saying that we want to generate traffic, isn't it? We understand that we want to generate traffic, but think about this for a second, and please just focus on what I'm about to say right now. My question to you is as follows. Do we want to generate traffic to our fan page at Facebook. So don't worry if you've never set up a fan page. We're not worrying about that yet. I go through that in the video training. Once we've set up a fan page, my question to you right now on this webinar is, do we want to generate traffic to our fan page, or are we wanting to generate traffic away from our fan page to somewhere else, like our squeeze page, for example? Do you see my question? I'm trying to ascertain from you, what do you think our objective is? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to send traffic to our fan page, or are we trying to send traffic to our squeeze page? Let's not forget we've created a squeeze page. And this confused me greatly at first. I was thinking, well, hang on, I don't get this. If I've got a squeeze page and a fan page, where's the connect? There's a disconnect in my head. It doesn't make sense. What am I actually doing? And we can't even start to do anything if we don't really understand, do we? So I'm looking at your answers here, and this is interesting. A lot are saying to fan page, just as many are saying to squeeze page. Getting a few don't knows, getting a few boths. So isn't it interesting? There isn't clarity, is there? Nobody's really 100% sure or clear, and this again is the first hurdle that I had online. So if you'll allow me, I'd like to explain the process of traffic generating using Facebook. This is going to take me about 3 minutes. Is that okay with you? I'm going to go through the process of generating traffic so you understand what we're actually going to want to achieve. Don't worry about how we're going to do it for now. The how will become clear after we understand what we want to achieve. Okay? So do you get what we're about to do? I want you to understand what we are about to do so you can sit down with a coffee and explain it to somebody. So let's go through this. What we really need to understand, I'm just looking at the questions here. Okay, what we really need to understand is our objective. Where do we want to send traffic to? Okay, very, very important. The reason most people fail in this business, as I said way back when in week 1, is this lack of understanding. Do you remember my golden rule? Don't play games you don't understand. Do you remember that from week 1? Of course we want traffic. Of course we do. It's the lifeblood of our business. But where do we want that traffic to go to? You need to have a definitive answer. You need to go, boom, it needs to go here. And you need to understand it. You need to be crystal clear. So let's make sure you are crystal clear, okay? What is our objective? Where do we want to send traffic to? Well, here's the answer. We want to actually do 2 things. We want to firstly build our fans at our fan page. Okay, if you're making notes, make a note of this. We want to build our fans at our fan page. I'll show you how we will do that in a few moments. While at the same time, here's the key thing, at the same time sending some of those fans somewhere else, to other places on the web. Most of the time, to be honest, your squeeze page. But you could send some of that traffic direct to a sales page or to a video or to an article. But the key thing here is that I want you to take away, and let me repeat this, is we want to spend our time building our fans at our fan page, while at the same time sending some of that traffic away from Facebook to our squeeze page. Now let's just think about this for a second. There's already, what is it, 900 million users on Facebook, something crazy like that. They expect it to pass 1 billion, by the way, in June 2012. So just focus on this. Just think about this for a second. There's a website, facebook.com, that's already got 900 million people using it. So this is what I like to call as internal traffic. People are already there, hanging out on Facebook on different pages and different groups, different personal profiles. They're already there. We want to capture some of that traffic that's already there, so it's internal traffic, and we want to send some of that traffic to our fan page so it stays within Facebook, while at the same time, once some of that traffic comes to our fan page, sending some of that to somewhere else, i.e. our squeeze page. Okay? Now again, I know at first it takes a little bit of getting used to, and nobody explained this to me at all when I started. So there are actually 2 steps to successful Facebook traffic. The 2 steps are as follows. Step 1, if you're making notes, please make a note of this. We will want to get as many visitors as possible to our fan page, and we want them to like it by clicking on the like button at the top of our fan page. And the second step is, as we build our fans, we will then start to send as many as we can to external websites. So there's a two-step process to generating traffic using Facebook. Okay, does that make sense so far? Don't worry if you're worried about how we actually do it. I just want you to sort of understand there's a two-step process. We'll be getting traffic to our fan page, building our fans, and then sending some from our fan page to wherever we want to send our traffic to. So if I had to kind of give you a like a little visual interpretation, if you like, here's my fan page at Facebook. We will spend time at Facebook generating traffic to our fan page. Okay, so please be clear on this, because most people don't get this at all. And once we start generating traffic to our fan page, then by posting on our wall at our fan page, we can then migrate and send some of that traffic to wherever we want to send that traffic to, i.e., in this example, our squeeze page. Okay, this alone is something that most people don't understand, because a lot of people will spend time just on their wall, writing some content, maybe even wasting time, but there's nobody to see it. And conversely, a lot of people spend time on Facebook on other people's walls, looking at pictures of their exes, confusing activity for action. And again, what's the point? It's a waste of time. It's a hobby if you're doing that. A lot of people also fill their wall with products, links to products that just have affiliate link after affiliate link. That's not a business, because there's no relationship, as Jared was talking about earlier, that's being created. People have embraced Facebook because communicating makes people happy. It's what we do. And so therefore, we need to understand this process. Now, just before we go and do this, I want to talk to you about something I call the 50-50 rule. This is my own rule. It's not an official rule. If you Google this, you won't find it anywhere. The 50-50 rule is as follows. We want to be really focused and diligent with our time on Facebook. I spend 50% of my time on Facebook on other people's fan pages, okay? Other people's fan pages. Communicating on other people's fan pages, commenting on other people's fan pages, answering questions on other people's fan pages, if I can answer a question. If not, just introducing myself. If I don't actually know what to say, I will just reply to a comment that somebody has made, something like, "That's a great question, Steve. I'd be interested to know the answer as well." So I'm very active on other people's fan pages in my niche, okay? That's where I spend 50% of my time. The other 50% of my time I spend on my fan page, creating content, sharing content, delivering value with my fans. You will do the same, because before we can send traffic anywhere, we need to have a list of fans in the first place, don't we? We need to be able to communicate with somebody, and you will find as time goes on, this just naturally and organically grows. It just does, because Facebook is very, very viral. And then when you link to an external web page, fans of yours will share this link and comment on what it is, maybe even repost it, meaning more exposure of where you want somebody to go. So just before we go to Facebook, let me just recap on this. Also, if you're wondering how much time this takes, I spend about 40 minutes a day. That's it, 40 minutes a day. So it is still 40 minutes a day, but out of those 40 minutes, 50% of my time, so 20 minutes, I spend on other people's walls. You don't need to do that much on other people's walls, contributing, commenting on other people's posts, because every time I do anything on Facebook, a link back to my fan page is seen. That's why we want to spend 50% of our time on other people's walls. So we will be doing this to build fans. People will just see, if you're an active participant and communicator on certain people's walls, people will just click to your fan page. They just will. And the other 20 minutes I spent on my wall. Okay, creating engaging content. Don't worry if you're thinking, well, how do we do that? I'm going to come on to that. Sharing existing content. That's so super easy. Contributing, commenting, building this relationship. Okay, because I often, when I talk about Facebook, I like to describe something that I call the stickiness factor, because without a shadow of a doubt, the most important aspect of your fan page is your content. That's it. That wins hands down. Whether you create your own or simply share relevant content that's freely available, content is king. I'm sure you've heard that saying, and it's totally true. And I've said before, and Jared said this at the beginning, if you enjoy communicating, you are going to be a natural fit for Facebook. You really are. You need to have interesting, compelling content on your wall to engage your fans, to compel first-time visitors to become your fan, and of course you will be doing all this. And during the video training for week 6, I will show you step by step how to actually do this. Basically, we want to create a sticky page. We want to galvanize visitors into a conversation. We want to encourage some sort of interaction. We want people to ask questions on your wall. We want them to solicit feedback, to ask opinions. And I'll tell you something, there is financial gain in the long run for anybody that is willing to open up the lines of communication, if you like, with their customers and market to them in a personal, in a caring way that makes them feel valued. And Facebook allows all of this without investing any money, but just a bit of heart. This is why, as we were talking about earlier, the playing field is level now. If you're prepared to do that, then you can grow your business hugely, and to be brutally frank, you don't ever need to use any other traffic sources. Facebook by far is my #1 traffic source, generates me between 11 and 20,000 visitors a month. For full transparency's sake, I should mention it has taken me a year to get to those levels, but you certainly can get a few hundred fans within a few weeks from having zero, applying exactly the principles and the strategies and the tactics that I'm going to share with you in the video training in week 6. Okay, so let me quickly just check in and ask, how are you? Again, I know if particularly this is sort of the first time, I know you might be thinking, well, how do we actually do this? You know, it sort of sounds interesting, Chris. I like communicating. I understand the power of giving good value in relationships. I get it, but, you know, how do we actually do it? Don't worry about that. As I keep saying, the actual hows, the actual hand-holding, the actual what do we do, all that can really only be shared during the video training because, as I keep saying, a webinar is not conducive for good, specific tactics. It's more kind of an overview, if you like. Let me just okay, I'm seeing some very kind comments. Thank you. I'm seeing a couple that say this is interesting, saying, you know, I'm an introvert, a bit scary. Listen, that's fine. You don't have to. I admit I'm quite comfortable. Well, actually, I should retract that. I wouldn't say I'm that comfortable, but I'm quite happy to sort of put myself out there. I'm quite happy to make videos on my deck talking about stuff and sharing stuff. But you really don't have to. So Facebook allows you, so long as you still offer value in whatever content it is that you're sharing, you don't have to be completely personal. We're talking about creating a fan page here. That's actually different to a personal profile. Now, I'm not going to go through this in this webinar, but I do talk about this a lot in the video training for week 6. There are 2 hats that we can wear on Facebook. We have a personal profile hat and we have a fan page hat, and they're 2 totally separate entities. It's quite an interesting history lesson, actually. When Facebook was originally created, they only had personal profiles because the original plan for Facebook was it was a social network. The movie is called A Social Network, isn't it? Did you see the film last year, Social Network? You let me know if you saw that movie. I'm sure you did. Wasn't it a great movie? Great, great, great film. Great music as well in it. But it was called A Social Network, wasn't it? So think about this for a second. Why is it called a social network? It wasn't called a business network. It wasn't called how to grow your business or make money using the internet network, was it? It's called a social network. So I'm sure you know the reason that Facebook was originally set up was because Mark Zuckerberg wanted to meet girls. You know, nothing wrong with that, but it's a social network. The fan page didn't even exist until 3 or 4 years after Facebook was created. And the only reason it existed was because the Facebook team saw that people were beginning to use their personal profile, which was only meant to be there for social reasons. They were using their personal profile to grow their business, to market their business. They want to keep the 2 separate. So we're only talking about using a fan page. So therefore, I'm saying all this because if you are worried about being introverted or revealing a bit about yourself, you don't really have to. That's more of the personal profile. Of course, it never does any harm, but please don't think that you have to do that. Okay, so how are we for time? How's everyone feeling? Should we keep going for another 15, 20 minutes or so? Because I've got a lot of stuff that I want to kind of share with you. Let's just keep going. Just looking at some comments here. Let me just look at my notes. Right, okay, if you can bear with me, I've actually lost my train of thought on my notes. You can just bear with me a second. And let's see where we are going. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, there we go. I was looking for a piece of paper that Ian Bass had hidden. I'm going to blame you, Ian. Is that okay? Right. Okay. So let's go and take a look at Facebook now. Okay. We're going to go to Facebook right now. I hear the snow is really coming down at Etham in New York City. Is that right? Wow. I bet it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be wonderful when we can do webinars like this and we can actually all see each other on webcams? That's the next thing, by the way. That's the next big thing online. That's the next profitable niche, let me tell you. Right. Okay. So let's go to Facebook. Can I ask you a question? Who remembers the first time they heard about question? Who remembers the first time they heard about Facebook? Who remembers thinking, this sounds like a total waste of time? Who remembers thinking that? Do you remember thinking that? Thinking, I'm not going to, or did you laugh at it, or think, what a joke, or... Thank you for your honesty. I'm getting lots of, yes, I did, totally. Okay, I made fun of my wife. Who said that? Oh, sorry, the question's going too quickly. I beg your pardon. But yes, isn't it funny? We all thought that. Okay, we're all friends here. Let's be totally honest here. Who now has a Facebook account and uses a Facebook account regularly? Let's just see how lame we all are. We all change. Yes, I do as well. We're all guilty of it, aren't we? We're all guilty. It's because, we're very good at poo-pooing new things, aren't we? We just are. It's a human quirk. It's like a new food. Do you remember when you were a kid and your mum and dad would give you something to eat and you hadn't had it before? What was our natural reaction? Mum, I don't like this. We hadn't actually tried it, had we? Of course, big difference between not liking something and never having tried it. We naturally poo-poo new things. We just do. It's easier for us to say, no, I'm not going to do that. It's easier to say, no, you can't make money online. A web business, it's a con, it's a scam. You can't do it. It's easier because secretly we use that fear as an excuse why we're not doing it. But those of us that push through despite that and embrace this new technology and realize that all these skills are learnable are ones that in the long run, and it may take a while, may take a few months, may take a few years to generate mortgage-paying income, but eventually it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're still so ahead of the curve in this business. Those that stick at it will indeed do well. I know countless people now that are full-time internet marketers doing exactly as we're talking about. Let's go to facebook.com. Okay, hopefully. Okay, so there we go, facebook.com. By the way, as a slight aside, 30-second aside, have you seen the new look to the personal profile? We're not going to talk about this. I made a video yesterday that I'm actually going to send out to you today. You may have seen it already. Have you seen the new look to the personal profile? This is the only thing with Facebook. They do regularly change things. There's a brand new look. This is only for the personal profile. Don't worry about the fan page. It doesn't affect the fan page. But let me just show you the personal profile. Would you like to see the new look to the personal profile? Would you like to see this? It's totally different. So be prepared. And at first, our natural reaction is, I don't know if I like it. I prefer the old way. But we're all like that. You mark my words. Within a few weeks, you'll love it. Here's the new look personal profile. Check this out. Da, 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 da. Isn't it nice? I actually love it. Note the personal profile picture on the left-hand side is gone. We have now what's called a cover photo. And, of course, we can change that. And we have all our friends and all our posts. And it's just organized a little bit better. There's a timeline as well. And this is a picture of myself and my wife, Frida, just in case you're wondering who this is. Anyhow, that's the personal profile. We're not talking about the personal profile. This, incidentally, is going to be rolled out over the next 7 days. So if your personal profile doesn't look like this yet, don't worry. It's slowly being rolled out. So let's talk fan pages. Fan pages, fan pages, fan pages. So every time we're online at Facebook to generate traffic, we want to be wearing our fan page hat. I've briefly talked about this in this webinar. I go through this in a lot of detail. In fact, I think I spent 3 videos in week 6, and we're releasing the videos in a few hours' time where I explain this in detail. Because here's my question to you. Did you know on Facebook you can have 2 different identities when you're online? Did you know that? When you're on Facebook, you can have 2 different identities, how people can see you. Most people don't, because this actually was only introduced, when was this here? This was about February, March this year, wasn't it? It wasn't that long ago. I remember you and I brainstorming this and kind of going, oh, this is exciting. It was a new addition to Facebook. And this is actually really, really important. And I want to, in fact, I shouldn't have said I'm going to rush this because I want to spend just 5 minutes explaining this. So let me back up. Let me just make sure we know exactly what I'm talking about. What I'd like to do right now is I'd like to explain that there are two different identities that we can have on Facebook. One is our personal profile and one is our fan page. And they're totally separate to one another. And I'd like to explain what that means. So that's what I'm going to do. Is that okay with you? I'm going to explain the difference between wearing these two different hats, if you like, because I really do want you to understand this. This isn't something that I'm just wanting to casually throw away like most people do. Most people say literally these following words. They will say, post as your fan page. And do you remember, Ian, when we were studying this, I remember getting annoyed thinking, what does post as your fan page mean? I don't get it. Don't post as your fan page me. Do you remember that? We were like, I don't really kind of understand what that means.
Going through it in detail.
Yeah.
Testing how it worked, how it didn't work, and all the different features of it.
So let's go through this right now, these two different identities that we can have on Facebook. And the reason it will become very clear in a few minutes time when it comes to generating traffic. When we log into Facebook, let me ask you a question. When we log into Facebook, do you know if we log into our personal profile or our fan page? I'm just interested. I'm obviously going to give you the answer, but just want to see. Okay, we're getting, again, it's fascinating, 50-50, you know, some are saying fan page, some are saying not sure. Actually, no, it's probably about 75% saying personal profile. You're correct. When you log into Facebook, by default, you're taken to your personal profile. This is my personal profile. Now, let me show you something quite cool and quite clever. Let's go to Brian Tracy's fan page. Brian Tracy. Any fans of Brian Tracy here? Anybody like Brian Tracy? Okay, I'm on Brian Tracy's fan page here. How do we know it's his fan page as opposed to his personal profile? I'm not going to go through that now. There is a very easy way to know because they do look similar, although, of course, once the new personal profile is rolled out, we will be able to see at a glance the difference between the two. But this is his fan page, and in the videos that will be unlocked, I explain how we can tell. So I want you to look at something here that I want to share with you. I'm just looking for a post from Brian. Okay, so let's use this top post here. And you'll see what I'm about to do in a second because hardly anybody knows this. So Brian Tracy's written a few hours ago, don't sell yourself short for 2011. It's not too late to reach your unfinished yearly goals. Watch this quick video. Okay, so I'm going to post a comment. I'm going to write a comment here. And I'm going to write, goal setting is vitally, I knew I was going to spell that wrong, vitally important. It has really helped me grow, with an E, my business. Oh, I spelled business correct. Okay, now I appreciate you might have a little bit of a time delay, excuse me, but can you see I'm looking at Brian Tracy's wall and I was typing something here. I know that I can't zoom in, so you're watching this on your computer monitor, so I understand it might be a little bit small. So I get that. That's again why I keep saying webinars are not good, conducive tool for actually teaching. But I'm typing in here. Okay, great. I'm seeing mostly yeses, so wonderful. And thank you for noticing that I wrote TI. Thank you, as opposed to it. Goal setting is vitally important. It has really helped me grow my business. Okay, so I've just posted that on Brian Tracy's wall. Let me hit enter on my keyboard. And note here, it's from Chris Farrell. In fact, you know what? I think I can zoom in a little bit saying that. Let me just try something. Look at that. On week 6, I realize I can zoom in. There you go. I'm still learning as well. So now it's a bit better. So can you see it? Is it a bit clearer for you now? It's only taken me 6 weeks to learn zoom and pan. How funny. Right, so there we go. So my point being, I've written a post on Brian Tracy's wall, and it's from Chris Farrell. And I've written goal setting is vitally important. Okay, perfect. Now, here's what I'm actually wanting to really make crystal clear here, because most people don't know this. A few months ago, Facebook made a great change, and they allow us to wear these two different hats when we're on Facebook, two different identities. We can post as our personal profile, as I have done just now, or we can post as our fan page. We never used to be able to get the choice. So I want to always, when it comes to generating traffic, post as my fan page. How do we post as our fan page? Up here, top right-hand corner, there's this little drop-down arrow. I'm clicking on this drop-down arrow. Can you see this window that's open that says Use Facebook as Page? Can you see this? You can? Okay, terrific. I'm clicking on Use Facebook as Page. Now, don't be concerned if you've never clicked on this before, but at the next page, well, not really the next page, but on the same page, a window will appear. You can see it here that says Use Facebook as Page. All your fan pages will be presented to you. If you don't have any, don't worry. Of course, during the training in week 6, I show you how to create a fan page. I'm not showing you how to create a fan page now because, as I've mentioned, that alone will take about 2 hours. But once we have a fan page created, once you've chosen to use your Facebook as page, this window will appear. Simply scroll down and choose your particular fan page. Let's use my main fan page, which is called How to Make Money Online with Chris Farrell. Let me click on the switch button here. So I'm clicking on switch. Now I've taken off my personal profile hat and I put on my fan page hat. Now the only thing at Facebook that's telling us that is up here in the top right-hand corner. Can you see here? It's now got the name of my fan page. So now everything I do on Facebook is as my fan page. Do you see what I'm saying here? This honestly is huge. This is how you're going to start generating traffic, by always wearing your fan page hat. We're never ever going to post or do anything as our personal profile, always as our fan page. And the reason I'm really kind of wanting to illustrate this point is now, look, if I go back to Brian Tracy's wall, so I'm back to Brian Tracy's wall. Now let's find the same post. Here it is. Chris Farrell posted a few moments ago. Now let me post something. Let me post sorry, you're saying I'm muted. That's because I'm a man and I can't talk and type. Girls, that's true, isn't it? Us men certainly can't multitask. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I should have said I was going to type in there. So now I've written in here, I write down my goals and I review them every 30 days. Okay, so I'm commenting. Can you hear me now? Is the sound back? I'm getting lots of loss. Look, the sound has gone off. Hello, hello, hello. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm seeing lots of comments saying the sound has gone. Yes? Yep. I don't know what happened there. Thanks, E. Okay, my apologies. I don't know what happened there. We obviously had a little sound issue. It's these new headphones I just bought, maybe. Okay, I'm back. Wonderful. My apologies. Phew, that was close, wasn't it? Thank goodness you told me. Could you imagine that? Chris talking away to himself for 20 minutes? Perfect. How dare you? Right. So let's just recap. What I've done now is I posted a comment again on Brian Tracy's wall, but I posted it as my fan page. Okay. Now, when I hit enter on my keyboard, look at this. Now, this is huge. This is huge. Most people don't know this. I've now posted some content on Brian Tracy's wall. Do you remember me saying the 50-50 rule? 50% of our time is doing just this, going to other people's walls in our niche and contributing, having a conversation, conversing, getting involved. But we must do it as our fan page, not as our personal profile. Do you know what? It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Again, like anything, anything in life is simple when it's explained, and hopefully I'm explaining it simply for you. And I'm the same, we all go into new things thinking, oh gosh, this is going to be really complicated. There's got to be some mystical, secret, magical button that nobody knows about that's going to be really complex. No, not at all. Admittedly, there are some complexities into actually creating a fan page, but we go through that in the video training. But when it comes to traffic generating, there really isn't. My key takeaway here, and really the one thing, if you only take away one thing from this webinar, I want it to be as follows. Please note that I have posted on Brian Tracy's wall, so on a wall in my niche, but I posted wearing my fan page hat. That's why I posted previously as my personal profile, so you can just see the difference. Does this make sense? I know you're probably thinking it almost sounds too simple, but again, there's nothing complicated about this. It's just a matter of doing it. If you do this for 20 minutes a day for a few weeks and you get involved, mark my words, you will get traffic to your fan page. You will get people clicking on your like button. You will get fans, and then you will be able to send traffic away from your fan page to wherever you want to send traffic to. But it takes about, 20 minutes a day. Most people won't put in 20 minutes a day. They simply won't. Or they'll do it for a few days and then lose interest. We need to be focused. We need to have a regimented regime. So I hope you're finding this as exciting, because again, I mean, do we honestly think that 900 million people using Facebook, it has to be really complex? No, it doesn't. Okay, so I just really wanted to illustrate the importance of posting as our fan page. So that's what it means, and this drove me insane back in February, March, when Facebook added this facility, when people would just say, oh great, you can now post as your page. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Talk to me in English. Tell me simply. So now, do you understand when I, or indeed anybody online, says to you, post as your page, what that means? Do you understand what that means? And to do that, we simply use this little drop-down menu at the top here, and in this window that appears, we can use Facebook as a page. So when we eventually have a Facebook fan page set up for you, and I understand if you don't have a fan page yet, then of course you can't generate traffic yet, because I keep saying during week 6 I show you, and Jared shows you, and Ian and I show you how to create a fan page. Once we have a fan page, then every time you log into Facebook, the very first thing you want to do is go up here, click on Use Facebook as Page, and use your fan page all the time. We're not even going to use our personal profile at all. Okay? Some questions I'm being asked here. Does this relate to posting on people's walls in our niche? Absolutely. You would only get involved in other people's fan pages in your niche. It's also a great way, and I'm going to come on to this later in this webinar, of connecting with actual key people. Such a great way to actually reach out. 6 degrees of separation? That's not true anymore. It's more like 2 degrees of separation. There's a great tip I'm going to share with you later in this webinar to connect yourself with key people that run popular fan pages. And it's so simple, and hardly anyone does it. Okay, yes, you can have as an unlimited number of fan pages as you like. Actually, I think technically there is a limit of 500 or something, but yes, pretty much it is unlimited. Okay, so how do we find pages in our niche? Okay, I'm going to come on to all this. And again, please let me just reiterate, this is an overview, this webinar. This is broken down step by step in the video training itself. Okay, so how do we find fan pages in our niche? Well, let's go and do that. Should we go and do that? Do you fancy a little bit of investigative journalism right now and detective work? Should we go and do this? Let's jump in and find pages in our niche. And again, I hope you're beginning to see a pattern here. I think the key to any success, I've often said this, is up here, and I'm pointing to my head. It's allowing ourselves not to be fazed, not to be frustrated, not to think, oh, I hit a hurdle, I can't do it. There are going to be speed bumps. There are going to be things that you don't understand. There are things that I don't understand every day. But one thing I am good at is not getting fazed. I understand that there is always a solution to everything. And once you know that, gosh, it takes away so much pressure to get it right first time. You're not going to get it right first time. Creating a web business, you're not going to get right first time. If your biggest takeaway from Chris Mentomy is understanding the engine and understanding how to create a squeeze page using Optimized Press and understanding how to generate traffic using Facebook, that's phenomenal. That took me 6 months. You could then go back and actually build it up a bit slower, but now understanding what you're doing. It may take you another 6 weeks, but that's okay. At least you understand what you're doing. So let's find fan pages in our niche. Now, let's remind ourselves, I am wearing my fan page hat, which is good. So let's use our, well, during week 6, I actually use our social media. I create a social media fan page. I like to flip between marine aquariums and social media. I haven't really done that much in the Losing Weight Done For You website, actually. But my whole point, as I've also mentioned, for flipping between the two, is just to prove to you that this this concept is universal. The niche actually doesn't actually matter at the end of the day. We can apply these principles to any niche, so long as it is a profitable niche. And of course, we spent the whole of week 1 going through that. So with social media in mind, let's find some social media fan pages, and all we do is as follows. We go up here to the very top, and let's type in social media. It's as simple as that. If we click on this magnifying glass to the right-hand side, we'll be presented with all the results, and then on the left-hand side, we want to click on the pages. We only really want to see the fan page results, because there are personal profiles as well, as we've discussed, and that is listed as people here. We're not worrying about personal profiles. We only want fan pages. So let's click on fan pages here. And now I'm being presented with all the fan pages that are based around social media. So what I do is I like to spend a little bit of time familiarizing myself. Some of the fan pages are great. Some of them are not so great. So let's have a little look down here. Now, there's 2 things I want to show you. Firstly, let's go to Social Media Today. So I'm just going to click on the Social Media Today link. I've noticed sometimes there's a bit of a bug in Facebook. That sometimes when you click on the link, it doesn't open. So I'm going to try a little trick. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to open in a new tab. That sometimes fixes it. There we go. So it has. So Social Media Today. So I've been taken to the Social Media Today fan page. And what I would do is I would just have a little look around. And the first thing I like to do is I like to see how recent content has been posted. So something's been posted by Social Media Today 3 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 7 hours ago. Okay, these guys sound like they just are pretty proactive and they're pretty good. I would spend a little bit of time looking around at the content and seeing if I actually like what they are posting. Now, for time reasons, let's assume that I do. I'm going to click on like. Okay, I've now liked this page. This is now a page that I have liked. So let's recap. As my fan page, so where I've got my fan page hat on, I've now said that I like this page. Let's just find another one here as well. Type in social media. Let's look at another one. Okay, here's a great one, Mashable. Let's click on Mashable here. Oh, again, it sometimes doesn't open, so let's open in a new tab. Let's go to Mashable. Okay, Mashable is a great website, mashable.com, all about social media. And this is their fan page. I know for a fact that I'm going to like this because I love mashable.com, so I'm going to click on like up here. And I've now liked their fan page. Look, they've got 51,000 fans. I'm just one of them. And I'm looking at the content, so they have great content here. Now, again, what am I doing? Let's just focus. Why am I doing this? I've now gone to 2 fan pages in my niche, haven't I? Let's just focus on this. We'll take a break in a few moments' time. And I've now connected with those fan pages by clicking on the like button. Okay, we've lost sound again. Can you hear me again now? Have we lost the sound again? Am I back? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. No idea. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's see if you can hear me now. Let me unmute you for a second. Can you wing it while I'm fixing it? Would that be okay?
Can you hear me?
We're not sure what's happened here.
The master plan has worked. And I have removed Mr. Farrell from the room. So now we can talk about nice things like football and I can hear you. So is that
I think I'm back. Thank you, sir.
Damn it, people.
Your moments, your 15 moments of fame, I pulled away from you just as quickly.
I'll put something in his tea during the break, and that will readdress the balance.
Thank you, E. Thank you for fitting in there. I think I have a dodgy cable connection on these new headphones. My apologies for that. So, again, though, isn't it interesting, when things go wrong, it's just kind of, this is, again, it's new to all of us. It's how we react, isn't it, to things. So, now what was I saying? I was just wanting to, before we take the break, I just wanted to kind of focus on why we've gone to 2 fan pages in our niche. What's the point of this? Well, we wanted to find some fan pages in our niche, and we've liked our fan pages because now when I post on this fan page, because it's already in my niche, so I already know that, look, 51,000 people in this case like this page. Now, not all 51,000 will be here at any time. In fact, often many will not even come back, but that's okay. We know that it's a popular page. If I contribute, remember my 50-50 rule earlier? If I spend 20 minutes a day contributing on pages in my niche, then every time I post any content, a link back to my fan page will be seen. And as we saw in the Brian Tracy example, let me quickly go back to Brian Tracy's page again. One thing I actually didn't mention at the time. Oops, I clicked on somebody's page by mistake there. Look at the Brian Tracy example. Okay, this is really what I want to share with you here. Note how when I post as my fan page, just the page title stands out a little bit more. When you post as a personal profile, you just have your name. That's it. And if somebody's going to be on a fan page that's based around a particular niche and they see another fan page that's also based around that niche, they're going to be more likely to click, particularly if you are regularly contributing. It's even interesting, Health Path. Hello, Health Path. I don't know if you're on this webinar, Health Path, but Health Path has actually commented. This is a great illustrating my point perfectly. She's commented on my comments. Health Path may well have clicked on my link, I don't know, and may well have gone to my fan page and may well have liked what she's seen at my fan page because she saw me on Brian Tracy's wall in the first place. Isn't it amazing? I've already had 3 people like my comment as well. I'm going to come back to what exactly like means in a moment. Okay, so again, it's just we've never had this opportunity to get involved in something that goes viral so quickly. So let's do this. These webinars go so quickly, don't they? Look, an hour already. All I want you to take away from now is that we can post as a fan page or our personal profile. My question to you is, what are we going to post as on Facebook? 100% of the time when it comes to generating traffic I'm talking about, so I'm just talking with our business hat on, what are we going to post as? We are going to post as a fan page. Woohoo! You got it. 100% of the time. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about, there's a couple more things I want to talk about how we actually get traffic to our fan page. But let's do that after the break. Let's have a little 10-minute break, and we'll grab a coffee. So, is that good with everyone? 10-minute break. How is that feeling for everyone? A 10-minute break? You up for that? I'm going to go and grab a quick little coffee. Can you believe an hour has gone? Sorry, Mr. Bass is murmuring something incoherent, which is pretty much how he speaks most of the time. And did you? Your silence speaks volumes. I love that. I love that saying.
People would like to take a break.
They want to take a break.
Yeah, just quickly. We have had quite a few people. Oh, what's the phone? Hello.
But somebody's saying, "Yeah, you want to take a break?" Okay, yes, thank you. That was Steve in Australia saying he wants to take a break. Perfect. Okay, sorry, Ian, you were saying.
We have had quite a few people that have a similar concern about conversing with people and that posting and the fear of not, being good with communicating. And the best thing I can tell you is when we've looked through Chris Mentomy, we've always said that the clue is in the name. The internet marketer, the clue is in the name. It's about internet marketing. And the same applies to social media. Social media, the name is in it. It's all about being social, about engaging. You engage with your customers and they will engage with you. So if you're concerned about conversing with people, social media isn't really about us, it's about our fans and our following. And we need to remember that it's not really about us, it's what we say and what we share with people and what our fans want to hear from us. So that sort of takes the pressure off a little bit, doesn't it? When we think, well, it's not really about me, it's more about my following and my fans, so there's a bit less pressure on you. I like as well, you have a lot of influence with social media, and there's the law of influence, which is that your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first, and that sort of backs up that it is about our fans and our following. So don't worry too much about all of that sort of stuff. It's like everything we're doing is just taking action, posting and sharing.
That actually reminds me of what we spoke about when we were speaking about copy. We were speaking about being benefit-driven and WeFM. Remember the acronym WeFM, what's in it for me? And again, that can be applied perfectly, as Ian's superbly demonstrating, to social media. We want to think of it, what's in it for me, the me being the visitors to your fan page from their point of view. So it's just like in life, isn't it? We all like, when we go to a party, if somebody talks about themselves all the time, you know, we want to avoid them. But if somebody's engaging and is interested and there's a conversation going, you come away from the party saying, that Ian Bass was a really nice guy. Freakily tall, but a nice chap all the same. And Ian drives home going, that Chris Farrell's a nice chap, very, very small.
Very, very small. We talk about this this week in the video course.
Yes.
And it's the same thing in the videos. It's, oh my God, what does my hair look like and what do I sound like? It's all of that sort of stuff that if we can get over ourselves and just remember it's about the person who's viewing and it's about the content we're delivering and what we're sharing, then there's that pressure. The pressure's gone and then we fly.
Incidentally, your hair looks fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. So let's take a 10-minute break, and when we come back, we have a few little surprises to talk to you about, including this much-anticipated video course from Mr. Bass. Also, we are getting lots of comments about what happens after Chris Minton finishes, and we have something to run by you. Don't worry, there's not an upsell or anything, but we'll have something to kind of, we sort of threw this idea around last week, so we'll talk more about that after the break. So let's take 10 minutes. Let me take your coffee orders now. If you have sugar or not, just let me know. Please post it into the questions window. I'll have your coffee with you in a few moments' time, and I'll see you back in 5 sugars. Okay, perfect. Who's saying that? Says Mike Tan. Hello, Mike. 5 sugars. Coming right. Right. See you guys in 10 minutes' time. Okay, see you in a second. Right, welcome back. So now we're going to populate our page with content, because once our fan page is created, we need to have stuff for people to react to. And this is the great thing about having a Facebook fan page. It's very, very easy to add content. You can create your own if you want, but it's often 1,000 times easier just to use existing content. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly. Now, I want to show you a fan page that I've already created for week 6 in Chris Mentor Me. And on this webinar, you won't have seen this by now, or rather at this point. So let me click on Use Facebook as Page, and let me just scroll down, and here is my Facebook fan page that I have used for the Week 6 training. And you might like to know, I got 77 fans within about 48 hours, going through exact traffic strategies that I'm talking about I appreciate in not that much detail in this webinar, but I certainly break it down in a lot more detail in the video training. And that's in about 24 hours or so, from 0, incidentally. Okay, so I've called this page Social Media Success Made Easy with Chris Farrell, and you will have noted that I've used actually the profile, the picture, for one of our Done For You web pages. We actually provide these pictures for you as well, you'll be pleased to know. These images, rather. Just scrolling down here to sort of see what's going on. Okay, so how do we actually get content for our fan page? Well, there's many ways. The easiest way to start off with, so there's some stickiness, as I keep going on about, at your page, is simply to use existing content. And I like to do exactly that. And if on my main fan page, if I'm a bit rushed for time, yet I still want to add some content, I will simply go to YouTube. Let's do that. Let's go to youtube.com and type in whatever your niche is. So I'm just going to type in here social media, and let's look at the results that come up here. And I would spend a little bit of time looking for something that looks quite good. I won't do that in this video here, but I think there's something here grabbed my mind. Let's have grab my attention. Social media technology. Okay, imagine I find a video that I like and I think, okay, this is actually quite interesting. I think people that come to my fan page will be interested in this. Remember, they're already going to be interested in the subject matter, aren't they? So it's known as warm traffic. All we do is we simply grab the address, the URL of the YouTube video. Let me copy that back at our fan page. Let's post it here. Let's do that right now. let's write, I don't even know what this video is about, so I would have watched it first. Okay, so it's really kind of about the latest stats for social media. So let me write something like, this is quite amazing. How long do you spend on Facebook? Okay, so this is quite, let me write video, an amazing video. I've written how long do you spend on Facebook. I'll come to why I've written that in a second. I'm now just going to paste, or rather copy in that link here. Doing so, we get a little what's known as a thumbnail of the video above. Now here's a little trick that not many people know about. You can actually now delete the link that you posted just to kind of make it look clean and uncluttered actually on your wall when you come to post it. And also this little space below where there's some writing, if you click on that you can actually delete that as well. Again, I go through that in more detail in the video training. Let's click on post and look at this. Just take a second to chug on through. Here, now, I've written, here's quite an amazing video. How long do you spend on Facebook? A nice little video. I say nice little video. Obviously, I would have spent some time watching it, but a video that's congruent to my niche, all about social media. If I click on it, here's the great thing. It plays in my wall at Facebook. Now, Facebook love this. Why do Facebook love this? Because, let me ask, we can just close this door over. Sorry, we've got my dogs barking upstairs. Why do Facebook love this? Because if there's any video on your wall, it means that we're going to spend longer at Facebook watching the video, and therefore that's a good thing. So Facebook love video. And also, video is a very, very good tool to have on your wall to make your page a little bit more sticky. So to start off with, if you're just beginning, or even if you have a fan page and you're not too sure, well, what do I actually put? Go to YouTube, share some videos, and also ask a question about the video. I'm going to come on to why I've asked a question in a few moments' time. It's such a little nuance that hardly anybody does. Again, staying with the theme of sharing content, you may know a website that has got great content. Let's go to okay, here's a site I know, allfacebook.com. Here's a website all obviously about Facebook, funny that, and there's all the latest stories about Facebook. And okay, look, this is interesting. Facebook Halloween photos will top 1.2 billion. That's just insane. Let's click on this and let's look at the article. Oh, nice image as well. So this is quite an interesting article. So imagine I find this online, and I think this is actually some interesting content that I'd like to share on my wall at Facebook. Again, we're making a sticky page. Again, once we start to do this, it's actually not difficult at all. And how many times have I said this is a great amount of fun? It really is. Are you beginning to see how you can do this in just 20 minutes a day? This is the 20 minutes of my 40 minutes a day spent on my wall, to make sure that there's always fresh and interesting content on my wall. You don't have to, if you don't want to, ever create your own content. You can just share content. That's why it's called a web, because they're all connected. So let me grab this link up here at the top, and I'm just reading what the article says. Most likely photo uploading. Okay, so I'm going to write here. Did you know Facebook has over 1.2 billion photos hosted on it? How many photos have you? Oh, actually, no. Let me ask a better question. Let me ask: is Facebook your main photo sharing site? Okay, and then I'm going to paste this link here. I'm then going to delete this link. As I say, not many people know you can do this, just to make my wall cleaner. I'm also going to delete this copy that comes with the article. I'm going to post it. There we go. Again, isn't that just wonderful, just nice content, a nice image as well. It's automatically pulled an image from the article, and now we are creating sticky content on our wall. Excuse me. Another great way, and the third and the final way to get content, just so we have something for people to see when they come to our page, is to share. Excuse me, is to share content. Beg your pardon. To share content that already exists on Facebook fan pages. So let's go to a Facebook fan page. Now, over time, you will, as we've already discussed, you will find fan pages in your niche, and you'll click the like button. Any fan page that you like will appear on the left-hand side here. So here are some fan pages that I've liked. Here's one from Mari Smith. I don't know if you know Mari Smith. Mari Smith, super marketer. She's a friend of mine as well, just written a book actually, based in San Diego. And Mari's got a very good wall. So I've clicked to her wall. I'm going to click at the top here. You get an option when you go to a fan page. Let me show you this, to actually see all the posts by the person that created the fan page or everybody else's posts. So let me click actually on the page creator itself, so Mari Smith in this example, and I'm going to see if there's something here, I'm sure there is, that's worth sharing. This is actually interesting. Oh no, this is interesting as well. This is images from an exercise in my book I call Hollywood Squares. This is all about having kind of like a dream board of people that you want to eventually work with or meet. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm going to share this. So look, there's a little share button here. So let me click on share. And when I click on share, and again, I realize I'm going through this relatively quickly. I do go through this in a lot more detail in the video training. I just want you to see how easy it is to populate our page with content. That's all. It's not something that you need to sit down every morning and think, oh gosh, where do I go now? What do I do? This can be done in 5 minutes. 5 minutes when we start thinking as marketers. So I found some content on Mari Smith's wall. She's in my niche. I've liked something that she's put on her wall. I'm going to share it. I'm going to write something like, this is a great idea. Who would you want to connect with if you could meet with anybody? Am I the only one who, as I get older, my spelling is getting worse? Is your spelling getting worse as you get older? Why is that? I'm seeing lots of yes. Yep, same here. It's terrible, isn't it? Things I do write. I don't text all the time and email. I do actually write. Even in text and emails, I like to spell correctly, but I don't know. Right, so I've clicked share, and I'm now going to click close on the window that appears. If I go back to my fan page, and I can access that by clicking on my fan page link at the top right-hand side. Now back at my fan page, look, I've now shared content that was originally from Mari Smith. So in 3 or 4 minutes, content on my wall. Now look at this. So this video that I posted a few moments ago, I've already got some comments. Now, I suspect this may be from some that are on this webinar, but maybe not. John Melville, I think, is here. Hello, John. How are you, sir? Having more fun. I love what you've done here. You've posted as your fan page, haven't you? Posted as your fan page. That's fantastic. Margarita, totally addicted, 2 to 3 hours a day. But do you see having more fun here? And Margarita, they've responded to the question I asked, how long do you spend on Facebook? I'm going to come on to that in a few moments' time. But imagine somebody comes to my page and they see this and they see having more fun, and they'll click on that page, and now we're taken to this fan page. Discover how to have more fun by changing from the inside. I mean, that's in our niche. And there's a video here which looks just a wonderful personal video. This is something that I certainly would like. I'd watch the video, but I would click like, and now you've got more fans at your fan page. So whoever this is, congratulations on making a really good fan page. I'm just going to look at your wall here, and you know, it just looks some great content here. Okay, so having more fun. Hello, hello, hello. So in about 20 minutes that I spend on Facebook, on my fan page a day, I will maybe add only 2 or 3 pieces of content, and sometimes I spread that 20 minutes out during the day. I might just do 5 minutes now and 3 minutes later and a few minutes a bit later. So just so long as you are seen as regularly contributing on your fan page, that's really what the key thing is. Because you will find, and mark my words, if this is all you do, just try it and see, you will get traffic to your fan page. And as soon as we start building up fans to our fan page, then what we will do is we can intersperse our content on our wall with where we want to send traffic to. And I do this all the time. Your squeeze page, a sales page, maybe an article, again to build that relationship. If it's an article or a piece of content, if it's your squeeze page, that's how you start to build your list and send traffic from your fan page to your squeeze page by posting to your squeeze page from your wall here. Look at this, we've got 83 fans already just in the last few moments. I admit it is because we're on a webinar, so I suspect some of those are from this. Now, there's something that I haven't mentioned either, and we go through this in a lot of detail in the video course, and in a second I'm going to bring Jared on to explain this in a little bit more detail. A great thing about a fan page is we have an option to direct somebody to a certain area of your fan page the first time that they come to your fan page. Now, did you notice when we clicked to my fan page here, we were taken by default to the wall? I don't know if you also noticed on a lot of big sites, Mashable is a good example. When I clicked to Mashable's site, by default I was taken to their wall. Now, there's nothing wrong with that at all, but you can, if you want, it's optional, you can have what's known as a welcome page. And you can direct new visitors to your welcome page. And on your welcome page, it is, as the name suggests, it's a page that before somebody sees your wall, you can welcome them, you can have a video, you can have an opt-in form, you can build your list. So in effect, you can have a squeeze page on your Facebook fan page as well. Isn't that amazing? Let me show you one of my fan pages. Now, I don't have it on my Social Media Success Made Easy fan page yet. And the reason for that, incidentally, is because, well, I'll bring Jared on in a second. We'll explain why that is. But let me show you some of my other fan pages. So I'm using Facebook as page. Let me go to my main fan page again. How to Make Money Online with Chris Farrell. And by default, I have a welcome link here on the left-hand side. If I click on that, this here is what new visitors will see. So the first time that somebody comes to my fan page, they will see this welcome page, and there will be a like button at the top for them to like. The reason we can't see the like button now is because I'm an admin of my own page, and I've already, of course, liked my own page. But those that hadn't would see the like button. Now, if they click like, they're automatically taken to the wall, and on any subsequent visits, they will automatically go to the wall direct. They will divert. They will miss out this welcome page. But if they don't click on the like button, every time they come back to my page, they are taken to this welcome page. And as I say, the great thing about a welcome page is that you can have a little video. If you don't know how to make a video, Ian's video course is going live in a few hours' time. I'll show you how to make a video. You can have an opt-in form to build your list. So it's really a squeeze page within your Facebook fan page. But it's also good to have a separate squeeze page as well. It's good to have both. This is kind of just like an added bonus. Now, the welcome tab. Here's something else I want to quickly share with you. I mentioned this earlier. When creating all the content for week 6, I was very aware that I wanted to get to talk about traffic straight away. Creating a fan page, as I mentioned, that alone could take 20 videos. To create a welcome page at your fan page, that alone is about another 20 videos. That probably is 2 hours, because we have to create what's known as an application. There are a few little things we have to do. I mean, where do we get these headers from? Where do we get all this stuff? So there's all these little components that we have to do before we are ready to start to generate traffic. And I didn't want to spend the entire week 6 being at video 25, video 30, and then saying, right, now let's start traffic, because I thought that would be far too much. So what we've done is, are you ready for this? We have created another unadvertised bonus for you. I bet I'm getting a bit boring now, aren't I, in my old age, with all these unadvertised bonuses. And this extra unadvertised bonus is a short video course explaining to you how to do this, how to create this welcome page at your fan page that first-time visitors see, how to get an image. We've got a little template, we've got a little generator that we've created for you. We've got some images that you can use as well. But how to do all this? We need to create, as I mentioned, an app. Don't worry, I know it sounds technical, but we need to show you how to do that. And I didn't want to do that in the main body of week 6, because as I mentioned, it will take the whole thing, being honest with you, will take about 2 hours or so. So that's why it's as an unadvertised bonus. And also, let me just clarify, you don't have to do this. Again, there's many different paths we can take online. Note that the Mashable fan page that we just looked at don't even have a welcome page. So you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's optional. If you'd like to, though, we've created an unadvertised bonus video course for you that talks you through how to do that. And that is inside the Chris Mentor members area, and it's under the tools option. You know where this is now, the top right-hand side, and it's called Creating a Welcome Page. It's not there right now. It will be live in a few hours' time. And I'm delighted to say it's actually hosted by Gerard, one of the team at Chris Mentor Me, and I'm going to quickly embarrass Gerard and bring him on live right now and publicly thank him. Mr. Elvidge, Gerard Elvidge, are you there, sir? I
am here, yes.
Nice to speak with you again. Gerard, can I firstly say thank you ever so much for creating this course. I really appreciate it. I mean, I know firsthand, you know, it's a lot of work creating video courses like this. And I think last night you were up to about 3 o'clock in the morning tweaking little bits and stuff. So thank you. Can you quickly talk us through exactly what your course is going to be showing everyone? And let me also clarify, this is 100% free, by the way. It's absolutely free. And if you could just go through, Jared, what your course covers.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, in creating this course, once you start to get the power of Facebook and the viral nature of Facebook with all of this information, this traffic information Chris is teaching, oh, it just gets so powerful because imagine somebody comes to your page because they just saw you had posted somewhere out there on Facebook as your page. So they get to your page and they're taken directly to basically a squeeze page where they're shown something of value that they could get if they enter their information, and bam, immediately they're on your list. It's just a really powerful way to build a list. It's a powerful way to get your message out. Anyway, so what this course is about, when trying to figure out what to name it, I actually did come up with kind of a good, really short, succinct name for the course. Tell me what you think, Chris. I came up with
I think I know where you might be going with this.
WordPress plus Facebook sitting in a tree, KISSING.
I think it's short, snappy, succinct. I love it. I love it. I'm surprised the .com name hasn't been taken already.
I haven't checked. Oh no. You have all these powerful tools at your disposal, and two of the most powerful tools you have in your online business are WordPress and Facebook. And so in this video course, I show you how to marry the two together and use them to create these welcome pages, and how to do it relatively easily and quickly, and how to use the skills you've already learned earlier in Chris Mentor Me to be able to implement them here on Facebook with a welcome page. So yeah, that's kind of the basics. We're going to talk all about how to set it up, how to get it implemented onto Facebook, and how to use WordPress to do it.
Jared, that's terrific, and what you've created is just wonderful as well. The actual little kind of WordPress little software, for want of a better word, generator. So thank you so much, Jared.
Yes,
I look forward to this course of yours going live in about 4 or 5 hours' time. We're going to unlock it. A lot of unlocking today. So with Ian's video course, and week 6 is content course, and now your course. So Jared, thank you. That's ever so kind of you. Appreciate it greatly.
Very welcome.
We also have another unadvertised bonus, but I'm almost embarrassed to kind of throw another one at you, so I'll talk about that in a few moments' time. Right, okay, so we're at 1/4 to the hour. I like to keep these webinars no longer than 2 hours long. So let's continue. Now, there's something else that hardly anybody understands that's a hugely powerful technique to get fans to come to your fan page. And I've used this many times. It's ever so simple, and it has the added benefit of actually connecting you with key people in your industry. So let me ask you this. Would you like to know a free traffic technique using Facebook that will get you traffic to your fan page, so people will click like, and eventually you can build your likes, and of course therefore send more traffic eventually away to wherever you want to send traffic to, plus as an extra bonus, get you on the radar and in the good books, if you like, of key people to connect with. One of the best things I've done online is connect myself with certain people. And when I was starting in this business, I went to events and I just networked, and I just kind of wanted to speak to certain people just to kind of get my name out there a little bit, to communicate. Everything in life is about connections, isn't it? You know, again, I keep saying it's called a web for a reason. We're all connected together. That's why Facebook is so successful. So let me show you this. I think you're going to like this. And there's not many people I know that actually use this traffic technique at all. I'm just going back to my fan page that I created for Chris Mentomy here. So this is what I want to show you. It's so simple, and it's just ethical marketing, and it just feels really good to do this. This is known as tagging. Now, tagging is something that you may know about, but I want to quickly explain exactly what tagging is. Okay, let me back up a little bit. What we want to do is we want to firstly find a fan page in our niche that we like. Okay, so let me find one right now that we like. In fact, I know one off the top of my head. Let me I think it's down here. Oh, actually, it's on a different fan page of mine. I've just recorded. Well, that's good, actually. So let me go to this other fan page, because I tried this traffic technique out. I've used this traffic technique many times, but I was just testing it yesterday. Okay, so I'm back at my. Here we go. So I'm back at my fan page, How to Make Money Online with Chris Farrell. Sorry, I thought it was my fan page for Chris Mentomy. So How to Make Money Online with Chris Farrell. Now, here's what I want to show you. Here's a fan page here called Entrepreneur S Academy. Can you see my screen? Can you see the Entrepreneur S Academy here? Let me just check in my questions window that you can see this okay. Okay, wonderful. So what have I done? Let's just focus. I found a fan page in my niche that I like and that I've been watching maybe for a few days or a few weeks, and I just like the content. I like the person that creates it. It's just good content. It just feels good. Everything about it I like. So I want to connect with this fan page, and eventually I want to get some traffic from that fan page, but that sounds a little bit Machiavellian and underhand, so let me explain exactly what I mean by that. Once we've found a fan page that we like, and hardly anybody uses this traffic technique, make a note of the page names, Entrepreneur S Academy, and then you need to click likes. You need to have liked the fan page first. So once you've liked it, back at your wall, all you're going to do is you are going to post about that fan page, but you're going to tag that fan page in your post. And when you tag a fan page, that means that whatever you write on your wall will also appear on their wall. Now, a lot of people abuse this because a lot of people will post spam or affiliate links on other people's walls, and you may have had this on your personal profile or your fan page, and that's what gives tagging a bad name. But done correctly, this is a hugely powerful way to get traffic back to your fan page, while at the same time, and I actually prefer this second reason, creating a relationship with a few key people online. Let me show you. In fact, I did this a few hours ago before this webinar. I posted on my wall here. I said, ladies and gentlemen, or I actually said, girls and ladies, this one is for you. I know I am not a girl, but I just wanted to let you know of a great fan page that has excellent up-to-date information. It's called Entrepreneur S Academy. It's created by Melanie Duncan, who is worth paying attention to. So for all you girls, and secretly some of us boys, you may want to go and check it out and like it. Now, what have I done here? I posted a link on my wall all about this other person's fan page, and there's nothing in it for me. Do you remember how Ian earlier was talking about what's in it for me from the point of view of somebody coming to your page? I'm not trying to self-publicize here. In fact, the opposite. I'm trying to give a bit of kudos, if you like, to a fan page that I genuinely have found helpful. But look here, I've linked to the page in my post. And so therefore, if anybody at my wall sees this, and this will also appear in the news feed of all my fans, so 10,889 people will see this in their news feed when they log in. They'll be able to click on this link that will send them to this girl's page. Now, you might be thinking, that's great, but how does it help me? Let's go to her page. Look, because I've tagged her, my post also appears on her wall. In fact, where is it? In fact, actually, sorry, let me click on everyone here. If I scroll down, here we go. My post has appeared on her wall. Therefore, what am I doing? I'm actually building a relationship with the owner of this fan page, where at the same time I'm saying to people that come to her wall, this is actually a great page that you're on here. I really like it. But of course, my link to my fan page is seen as well. So what we're doing is we're giving a bit of cross promotion here. How do we tag? Let me show you. I've just seen she said some very nice things about me back as well. So what we would do is we'd find a fan page that we like. So let me use another one here for a second. Casey Zeman. Here's a great guy, Casey Zeman. Very good marketer. So imagine I was writing, if you are interested in video marketing, take a look at this guy. Then I type the @ symbol above the 2 on your keyboard, type the @ symbol, and I start to type the name of the page. So in this case it was Casey Zeman, so I'm going to write C, and look, it's appeared. So I'm going to click on that link. Now this will become a link. Then if I post this, this will appear on my wall, but also on his wall as well. And because I'm giving him some credibility, if you like, and because I'm saying something nice about him, he's obviously not going to delete that from his wall because it just looks good for his fans to see somebody else, a third party, vouching for him. But people at his page will see the link back to my page as well. This is tagging done correctly. And it's the wonderful byproduct of this, apart from the fact, let's go back to Entrepreneurs Academy, apart from the fact that now my link is on her wall, so fans of Entrepreneurs, it's easy for me to say, Academy will see my link. Some people just will click. Particularly, she's actually replied. She said she's so humbled to have the support of Chris Farrell, which is very, very nice. I didn't even know she's written here, he inspired the concept. I didn't actually even know that. I'm not choosing this example for that reason, but that's ever so nice to read. But some on Melanie, I know this, I've never spoken to this girl, but I just looked at her video and she mentioned her name. Some on Melanie's wall will click on my link as well. But here's the key thing. For the future, imagine I want to eventually create a product of my own. Imagine this is something that you're going to be doing online. Imagine even you want to put on a little event in your local area and you're looking for 20 people and you want to charge, $97. When it comes to helping promote something, who do you think is going to come and help you? People that you've built a bit of a relationship with. Now, I'm not doing it just for that reason. I'm doing it just to be nice, frankly. But at the same time, we are building relationships with key people online. This girl here, Melanie, clearly is working hard at building her business. Do you think if I suggested to her, Melanie, I'm thinking of putting on an event in Los Angeles, it's $97, would you consider posting it on your wall? Do you think she'd consider saying yes? Of course she would. And then if there was an affiliate program, I'd say that you can put it through your affiliate link. But again, we're building this relationship with key people online. I met a ton of people online just through forums when I started. Forums are really like, forums can still work very well, incidentally, but forums are very similar in style to this. I'm just seeing someone saying no sound. Can you hear me? Just want to check that there is sound still. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1. Yes, you can. Okay, wonderful. So, just to recap so we know exactly what I'm saying here, tagging fan pages by creating a post, singing the virtues of that fan page, a very easy way to get traffic back because that fan page, they're not going to delete your post that's going to appear on their wall, and of course your fan page name will be seen. They're not going to delete a nice comment that you make. You're not doing it just for that reason, though, but a nice byproduct of that is that you will get to meet key people online. I can't tell you the amount of people now I've met online from just doing this. Really great, nice, rounded people, just from connecting with them, just admiring them from a distance, just posting a really heartfelt comment on their wall. Even better, if you can actually look at some of their content and really be specific in your content, in your comment, say, Melanie, I really like that tip you shared about how to get a banner made, something like that, that proves that you spent a bit of time rather than you're just giving them lip service for lip service's sake. Again, it comes down to building this relationship, doesn't it? It's not complicated. It's not complicated. So if you spent amongst your 20 minutes a day on your page doing this, tagging just one fan page a day, quickly getting your name out there. Think about it. Rather than just putting a post on your wall, suddenly, boom, through no extra effort, it's on 2 walls. And you've kind of got 2 sets of eyeballs. You've got fans on that page that you've tagged and fans on your own fan page all seeing your content. It just will snowball, but it just takes being consistent and contributing regularly. Right, so I mentioned another unadvertised bonus. Could you handle it if I threw one more at you, or am I in danger of overwhelming you here. I'm very, very aware I don't want to overwhelm with information, which is one of the reasons why we're thinking of doing this thing from January, this monthly course, where we can kind of spend even more time. Because I'm sure you're beginning to see, you know, Facebook, as Ian said, Facebook, I could spend, and I would love to do this. Let's put on an event together where we just spend 2 days just talking about traffic on Facebook. You know, it's impossible in a 2-hour webinar. It's even impossible in 30 videos to cover every single nuance of traffic, just because there's too much of it. So that's why we're thinking of adding this extra follow-up to Chris Mentor. But as I keep saying, don't worry. You certainly can just do what I am showing you and get more than enough traffic as well. This is exactly what I do day in, day out. This is what's getting me between 11 and 16,000 visitors a month. So it does work, but I am aware that some may want, you know, more possibly. So I was just saying another unadvertised bonus. Okay, yes. So the third unadvertised bonus for this week is to kind of go back to the very beginning of Facebook. I was also aware, and I also wrestled with how I should handle this, that some, in fact, the majority, don't really understand how Facebook works. By that I mean what your wall really is, what your news feed is. The relationship between posting on your wall and appearing in someone's newsfeed. What does that actually mean? Posting on your personal profile wall and appearing in your friend's newsfeed, because you have friends with a personal profile, yet with a fan page you have fans. They're two totally separate entities, as I mentioned. I didn't want to spend an hour of today's webinar going through the basics of Facebook. So I've created a Facebook basics course. I was going to release it as a product. It's never been released before. I was going to release it as a product earlier this year, but I simply, I haven't released it actually. So it's been unreleased, but I'm calling it Facebook Basics. It's a 12-video course going through how Facebook works. So if you want to understand what the personal profile actually is, what your wall actually means, what the newsfeed actually means, how this actually kind of all fits in with one another, I have a bonus course called Facebook Basics that's also going to be unlocked today at Chris Mentor Me, also under the Tools option. Only for you if you don't really understand how Facebook works, or you'd like to kind of start from the very, very beginning. If you get it, if you understand that you have friends on a personal profile and fans on your fan page, and you understand about the news feed and you understand the wall, then you won't need this course. But if you would like to really start from ground zero, then this course called Facebook Basics, it's only 12 videos. It'll take about 45 minutes or so. It's very, very step by step. I mean, it really is from the very, very beginning. Here's what a wall is, and we look at a wall, and here's what a news feed is, and how do the two work together, and what is it exactly? That's what Facebook Basics will cover for you. Because I think there's nothing worse when teaching anything for somebody to casually say something like, and when somebody logs into their news feed, they'll see all your comments. And you're thinking, well, I don't understand even what that means, logs into a news feed. So that's covered in Facebook Basics. Okay? Right. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that is kind of it for us for today. Let me just recap. All the Facebook traffic is going to be unlocked in the video modules, and we will be unlocking that with these 3 unadvertised bonuses in about 4 hours time or so from now. The recording of this webinar will be uploaded as well. Also, let me just remind you, bonus week 7 was never advertised. It was always only ever going to be a 6-week course, but we're shoehorning in, crowbarring in bonus week number 7, all also about traffic, other sorts of traffic. There's a few extra Facebook bits as well, but there's other sorts of traffic. I'm speaking to some traffic experts as well. Kim Roach, who you may know, is joining me. Joe Barnes, a great marketer called Andrew Locke, is going to be joining me to share some of their top traffic techniques as well, all in bonus week number 7. That's going to be unlocked in 7 days' time from now. And also, no webinar next week because I'm speaking at an event in New Jersey. Hello, if you happen to be coming along to that. But in 2 weeks' time, and we'll let you know the exact time and day. It may not even be Saturday. We'll work that out. We'll let you know. Don't worry. We'll put it in the members area, and of course, we will email you. There's going to be a bonus webinar, and in that webinar, we're just going to talk about this thing that we're thinking of doing from January for those that are interested. Okay, you don't certainly have to jump on board, but if it's something that you think you'd like to work with us a bit more, and by then I'll have more details about this live event that we're thinking of doing as well. And let me also say, I know I'm probably the worst salesman ever because I'm always aware of not wanting you to spend money. And we're not doing this to try and get more money from you, as kind of brutal as that sounds. We're really not. We're doing this because we've had an awful lot of people ask us, is there going to be anything more after Chris Mentomy, or could there be? And Ian and I and Jared and Jeff and Steve and the whole team know full hand that internet marketing is such a vast reservoir of information that we could easily, and I'd love to do this with you, we could easily spend a month just talking about video marketing. I spent 3 months learning video marketing when I began, and it was great fun. I really immersed myself and rolled up my sleeves in it. So again, it's optional, of course, and if it's something that fits in with your budget and that you'd like to work with us on, we're going to launch this beginning of January, and there will be a webinar about this in a couple of weeks' time, if, of course, this is something that floats your boat. Right, we never stop learning, do we? And that's the key to life, really, let alone just business. So, right, I'm just going to quickly jump to Jeff and to Jared and to Ian, and then I will let you get back to your day. And let me just quickly do that now. And firstly, I'm going to go to Dallas, Texas, and Mr. Hope. Jeff, thank you for fielding the questions. How were the questions today? I was sort of keeping one eye on them, and we seem to be getting, it seemed to be moving very, very quickly. A lot of questions coming in.
You bet, Chris. Yeah, we got some good questions in. We tried to answer a few. Most, of course, we couldn't get to because sometimes they come in so quickly. But if you have questions, if you'll please post those to the Week 6 forum, which is now open, we'll try to give you an answer there.
Jeff, thank you ever so much. I will speak with you during, well, I'll probably speak to you later, Jeff. We tend to speak most days, so I'll give you a call in a bit.
Sounds good. Jeff. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jeff. Mr. Elvidge in Salt Lake City, who I'm coming to see you on Tuesday, aren't I?
Yes, sir.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Looking forward to that. We're going to spend a few days masterminding on various stuff and talking about things we're going to be doing next year. So, Jared, thank you ever so much again for this video course about creating the Welcome tab. Your takeaway from today's webinar, has there sort of been a theme to questions or anything that you'd like to add?
You know, really just the questions have been right on questions about Facebook, and they're literally, I didn't see one that won't be answered in this week's videos. So people are thinking exactly as they should, and they're going to get their answers as they go through the videos. My recommendation, too, for me when I was learning Facebook and had some of these same questions, the best teacher is action. If you'll just go through the videos and as you watch them, really be sure that you're implementing as you go. Don't try to learn it all first and then implement, but rather learn one step and then go do it, and then learn the next step and then go do it. That's how I think you'll learn faster and how this will all sink in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going through your videos myself, Chris.
And also, Jared, I think another takeaway is the fact that none of us know everything about this. And, you know, I'm regularly pinging you on Skype, as I am with Ian. I'm saying, Jared, can we kind of, you know, can we brainstorm this? I don't kind of understand how this works. And you and I might go backwards and forwards and stuff until we either find an answer online somewhere or work it out. So it's really kind of just going into this business with that sort of mindset. Wouldn't you say that none of us know all the answers to everything, but every skill is learnable, as I keep saying?
Oh, that's absolutely true, and especially with things like Facebook that are progressive and always changing and improving. And I really liked, we actually were together at that event in New York where Gary Vaynerchuk spoke, and he said it's actually not even so much about the platform that you use for social media, but it's about the relationships that you develop. And Facebook is obviously the platform to use right now because it's where everybody's at, but yeah, get in there and try it and learn it and develop those relationships, and it's powerful stuff, and it's really fun.
Actually, at that event as well, this is an event that I was very lucky to be asked to speak at in New York with Gary Vaynerchuk. He was a keynote speaker, and I spoke at the event as well. But Gary Vaynerchuk, he actually said a great quote once. Gary Vaynerchuk said, "Facebook is responsible for the humanization of the web." And I thought that's a really wonderful, that kind of sums it up, doesn't it? If you enjoy communicating, then this could be your one and only traffic source. And I just don't want anyone to feel that they've missed the boat, because we're so ahead of the curve. Just learning how to use Facebook could be your profitable niche. I know a ton of people that are doing that just because that's such a boom. Look at the front page of the LA Times the other day, talking about how many companies need social media managers, how many people want people to post on their fan page. Ian was talking about these automated systems that he doesn't recommend, and I agree with Ian. I don't either. People want human reaction. I mean, Brian Tracy's wall, I doubt it's Brian Tracy himself, to be honest with you, actually kind of posting, but that's okay. It's probably somebody doing it for him. There's such an outcry for somebody to do that for companies. The average salary, you know, for a social media manager is $60,000 a year. That's a good salary. That is a good average salary. And there's just a huge demand for this right now. So if just learning these social media skills is something you take away with a view to maybe that being your profitable niche, then hopefully Chris Mentor has just been worth your time just to come to that conclusion. Anyway, Jared, thank you so much for your time. I'll see you Friday. No, Tuesday. When am I landing? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm here in Chicago, but Chris, I'm in Salt Lake City. Oh, yes, my fault. Wrong airport. Actually, I landed, a quick story. I landed once, didn't I, at Salt Lake City, and I texted you and I said, I just landed. Chicago's great. And I think you said, Chris, I'm in Salt Lake City. It was funny at the time. Isn't that amusing now, admittedly? Jared, speak to you Tuesday.
What was really funny about that, Chris, was that I posted it immediately on Facebook, and you actually, didn't you get a couple phone calls?
Yes,
Are you in Chicago?
True. That's a really good story. Let's just quickly explain that. So I flew to Salt Lake City. I was speaking at another event, and Jared very kindly offered to pick me up at the airport. I landed. I texted as a joke from my plane, "Oh, just landed. I can't wait to see Chicago. I've never been around here," or something like that. And then Jared knew I was joking, but you took a screenshot of that, posted it on your wall at Facebook, said Chris Farrell's landed in the wrong city, you know, and posted the screenshot of your text chat on your iPhone. Then I got phone calls in the airport from a friend of mine called Tristan. I think Ian Bass called me as well. I said, "You haven't landed at the wrong airport, have you?" I was like, "This is incredible, the power of social media." I had no idea that Jared had posted that. I was like, "Why am I getting phone calls saying, why have you landed in Chicago and you're speaking in Salt Lake City?" So again, just yes, I forgot that. That's a great example. Jay, great speaking with you. Talk with you soon.
Very good. See ya.
And let me hand over to Mr. Bass, who I'm very, very excited about Ian's video course. We'll talk about that in a second. So, Ian, social media, your final thoughts, your takeaway from today's webinar.
Just exactly what you just said there, the viral nature of it, how quickly information can spread with social media, and how the scope of it, look how far it can go. Your one piece of shared content or your post is seen potentially by so many people. And also as well, it's fun. Yeah, it's exciting. Obviously we do have to have a bit of personal discipline when we see non-sort of work-related stuff and we get dragged off in that element. So you do have to be quite disciplined, but just the nature of how once you create that post or that piece of content that you're sharing and you share it, the reins are sort of off a little bit from you. It's then up to the people that are viewing it and reading it to share it. So they're sort of working for you in a sense, isn't it? Social media is working for you and they're working for you. Granted, you have to come back in and reply, but once someone shares it and it goes on their wall that they've posted a comment or they've liked it, whatever they've done, they're then working for you. They're then sharing that content with all of their friends and all of their network, and it just grows and expands. And with all the social media platforms, Jim Rohn says this to us, that everything you need is near. They provide these platforms for us to use. They're there. We don't have to create them. The audience is there. The platform's there. We just need to provide our content and speak our part differently from everybody else and share it. So it's all there. Everything we need is near, and we just need to take advantage of it. Don't make it complicated. We do that, don't we, as humans? We make things more complicated than they need to be, and we dismiss them because we don't understand them. Hopefully, during Chris Mentor, we've given you the understanding. That's what we wanted to achieve, was to dispel the fear and give understanding, and then you can progress. And social media is there. It's only getting bigger. It's only growing and expanding, and let's ride on it and make the most of it.
Thank you, E. I love that Jim Rohn saying, everything you need is near. He had a great talent of simplifying things beautifully. One of my favorite Jim Rohn quotes, I know we've often talked about Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was a mentor to Ian and myself, great inspiration to us. Jim Rohn once said, you don't pursue success. He said, success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. Isn't that beautiful? You don't pursue success. You don't go into it thinking, I want to make money online, I want to be successful. It's something you attract. It's something that comes to you naturally by being an attractive person. Beautiful, powerful, powerful words. Language is so powerful, isn't it? So, well, thank you ever so much to Jeff and to Jared and to Ian, also to Gemma Bass. I should always mention Gemma, Ian's wife. Behind every good man, there's a good woman, and Gemma's been working very hard behind the scenes upstairs, helping us here on this webinar. Thank you, Gemma. So although this is officially the end of week 6, as you know, we have bonus week 7, and there's going to be a bonus webinar in 2 weeks' time as well. And we'll talk more about this live event idea that we're throwing around and this new thing we're thinking of doing from January the 1st. So look out for an email from us, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks' time for this bonus webinar. Thank you ever so much for giving up your time. I hope it's been worthwhile of your time. I'm always very appreciative that we're all busy in life. So nice to talk with you and spend this time with you. This is Chris Farrell signing out from a sunny Los Angeles afternoon. Have a great remaining Saturday or Sunday, wherever you are in the world. Until we speak in 2 weeks' time, take care. See you. Bye-bye.